This is Donna with More Than a Review, and I am so excited to be here with Rhonda. She and I are in a mastermind group, and we have just had so much fun with it, and it's been just great with the accountability. I've really enjoyed it. And she's here supporting me today, so that's also awesome. So she's going to talk to us a little bit today about being a freelancer and what does that mean? So several of us have kind of heard that topic, and so I thought we would share kind of what that means, and then also maybe what's a day in the life.
Okay.
So Ron, kind of share with us a little bit. First, let's talk a little bit about yourself, and then
Okay.
we'll talk about freelancing.
So I'm a mom. I have 3 boys, and my husband is a pilot. In my former life, so to speak, I was a teacher. So I maintain my teacher certificate. I have education experience and credentials, which I sometimes use for my writing.
Yeah. So talk about the fact that your husband is a pilot, because I don't think for people we really understand what that means.
It mostly means that the schedule is erratic. It is not 9 to 5. He works all different shifts. We don't know very far in advance what he's doing or where he's going. He might be gone for a day. He has a lot of day trips. He might be gone for 3 or 4 days. And we don't usually find that out real far in advance. So it just is kind of something to keep up with that.
So how do you balance that with your work as a freelancer?
Well, the first thing to know is that I don't balance it. My husband is my full life, real life here. My husband's the primary breadwinner. So that allows me to do this flexibly and working from home, and to work in my projects and my work when I need to. I don't want to try to make it work where I have to be somewhere full time and he has to be somewhere full time.
Yeah, that would be tough.
Yes.
Especially for a planner.
I'm a little bit of a planner. I cannot plan too, so I've had to learn to just kind of roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little about being freelance.
So freelance means that I'm not employed by anybody. I keep track of my own expenses. I keep track of my own income. Yes, I do have to pay taxes on all that every year. And I contract with different people, editors, someone who needs projects done, and I do work for them. Some of it's writing, some of it's editing. I also submit essays and articles to publications who will choose to buy some of them.
Yeah. So who would be main customers for editing?
Someone who kind of brokers out work for, maybe they're responsible for providing content for certain websites or certain publications, and they get that content from lots of people, and then they need someone to go through and edit some of that.
Yeah. So I think a lot of times, because we have a More Than a Book review website, so people think of editing only as editing a full book. They don't think of all the editing.
No, editing, and I don't edit books. That's an expertise and a specialty that I don't have. I've edited brochures and posters and very small things, and I've also edited articles. So that's the kind of work that I do. In fact, I kind of, whenever I see a brochure, something sitting around, or a pamphlet, and I read it, and I'm like, there are 7 misspelled words in this. It really drives me crazy, and I kind of want to go to the person and say, would you like me to edit this? So, yeah.
Yeah. So is it typically small businesses or larger, like a Procter & Gamble, a Walmart, what kind of people?
I have worked when I was the managing editor of a website, we did work with some big companies on content, and then I edited everything that the writers turned in. Most of the time, though, it's been smaller companies that provide content for maybe local sites or regional sites or state publications.
That wouldn't have an editor in-house.
That wouldn't have an in-house editor, and they don't need one all the time. Mm-hmm. They need someone when they can contact me one day and say, hey, I have these 3 things that need edited. Can you do this by Friday? And I can let them know yes or no.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So when you submit articles, what is that like? So do you have a topic already, or do they provide you one and you have to go write an article for it?
Well, submitting essays is something I'm doing more, and that's just a matter of working on my essays, writing a good one, and then finding who publishes that kind of essay. Mm-hmm. Or taking some of the ideas and topics I have. I mean, the New York Times publishes essays, the Washington Post publishes essays. I have an essay in chicken soup. There's literally thousands of topics that you can publish them on, and they have their own requirements, their own boundaries of what they want. And so I just try to look and see what I could write and submit to those. For articles, most of the work I do has something to do with education or parenting, because I've published with a lot of small parenting publications around the country. So most
And
of
large. I've seen a few large.
a few large ones, yes. So most of those are parent content, family content, education content.
Yeah, okay. All right. So how would someone go about researching like how to find like a freelance editor and content writer?
Well, it's been a while since I've Googled it, actually. You can, a lot of writers I know, I mean, I have my own website.
Which is Rhonda Franz.
Which is rhondafranz.com.
It looks really good. I just checked it out.
Yes. That, you can probably pull up a lot. You might want to Google freelance writers in your area. I'm trying to be better this year about going to networking events so that I can meet other people and hand out my card. And some writers who might do this full time or who are trying to get more income might work on a retainer, or they might have long-term projects that they have certain fees for. I am fine. I even like it if I just have one-off projects, a la carte, so to speak. Yeah. So if you have something and you're like, I just need these 3 pages edited, or I just need some help wording this month's newsletter, I'm happy to do that kind of thing.
And a ton of people are having newsletters, and email is still a big, you're reading everywhere that it's still, even with all the social media, the email list and sending out emails is like the number one place to be.
And a lot of people don't want to edit stuff. I need someone to edit my own things. Sometimes it's just another set of eyes.
Yeah. So we'll close with one little tip, and the one that you always tell me about, the double spacing.
Oh, yes. So there's no more double spacing. Double spacing is gone.
It tells what generation you grew up in.
It might tell, yes. Well, and I did double spacing too, and it was for a specific reason. It had to do with typewriters or something, I think. I don't even remember. But if you are doing a paper and you just can't help but double space, at the very end, make sure you save your document. But before you're ready to turn it in or use what you're going to need it for, then if you go to the find and replace option in Word, this is for Word documents, you can type in find, hit 2 space bars, and in the replace, hit 1 space bar. And then let it do its thing, and it will automatically fix all of your double spacing.
That has helped me a ton. That's why I wanted to make sure she shared that, because
use the find and replace.
Yeah, even in emails, I can have like 10 of them, and I'm like, I didn't even realize I had that many sentences to have that many spaces in there. So, Rhonda, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was good to talk to you.
I highly recommend her, guys. I've gotten to know her personally and then through the mastermind group. And if you do need someone out there to review your content, some editing, it makes the difference between looking professional and not. So it's in having attention to detail.
Yes.
And so it's very important to have that kind of skill set. And if you don't have it in your company, I would highly recommend her. I'm learning a ton of things from her just in the mastermind. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.